Hey babies, good evening and happy Monday, May 12th. Let's detox from this Monday. Here in about 30 seconds, I'm gonna run our first top of the hour 3-minute ad break, which is not unusual. We're gonna try to do that with some consistency at the top of every hour, which means you have 3 additional minutes to assess and achieve maximum codes, mamas. I'll see you in 3 minutes. Mwah. Oh! Wake up. We're at grandma's. Oh, hi. Oh, for a second there, I wasn't sure if I hit unmute. Oh, hi, oh, hi, oh, hi. What's crack-a-lackin', babies? Besides my joints from leaving the gym. Middle-aged joke. I'm actually fine. I'm very lucky to be almost 40 and not have any, like, aches and pains. I did have a frozen shoulder once resulting from, like, overuse. Like, over shoulder exercises. My shoulder just, like, locked up and I went to physical therapy for, like, 90 days and then it just corrected itself. It was weird not to be able to put a shirt on the way I wanted to for that interval, but all the same. Going well. I'm clean, I'm fresh out of the shower, freshly gemmed. Today was a good day. And Since I'm starting late, not as much chatting on the docket. I did want to run through one Psychology Today article on what I put in the stream title. What are your non-negotiables? Are you familiar with your non-negotiables? It's sort of like core values. It's like a core values kind of check-in, like one of those things that you periodically evaluate, you know? And if you don't know, we'll review. So then maybe you'll know a little bit more about how to stay. It's an element of, or an access point, whatever verbiage you want to use, and how you can maintain connection with yourself, your identity, what things that you don't want to negotiate away during moments of, say, emotional intensity with a partner, or a colleague, or a peer, or just yourself if there's some internal conflict as you navigate your day, what you're not going to make concessions for. Which seems like a lot because we make concessions all the time, but for me, like, lately it's been, you know, a non-negotiable has been, just for my own mental well-being and the benefits derived from movement, I really like giving myself the gift of going to the gym. If I can't give myself that, I become a nasty bitch, and I don't like being a nasty bitch. And it's not a consequence of not going to the gym, but it doesn't feel great because then it feels like that's a plan that I set for myself, and then I deviated from that, and I don't always have a good excuse. How's the stinky stream? ! Stinky, find out. It hasn't changed much. Very rapid diminishing returns on my showers, unfortunately. Hi, X. It hasn't changed. Hi. Hi, X. Hi. What's next on the docket for an X stream? What is X gonna give us? Also, what do you think? What do you think? Before I fire too many questions away, what do we think? Too similar to like Horn Rim, too orange, not enough blue. Speaking of like negotiables and internal conflict, I've rotated through the same 4 pairs of glasses with Warby Parker for like the last 12 years, so it was really hard not to just pick something that I know looks good on me. Like, I loved these aviators that they used to sell. They had these like wireframe aviators that worked really well as like pseudo sunglasses because they were transitions. But it was a weight thing. Like, I loved how they looked. I thought it looked kind of rad in them, which, don't conflate confidence with conceit. I liked how I looked in them. But it was a weight thing, like sensory needs, especially on my face meat. I wasn't so much digging the heavy, chunky glasses on my face. These, whatever they're made of, they decided were going to be more expensive. I could probably look that up, but they're really lightweight. They're super lightweight. I also need to clean them. There's a nasty smudge on the bottom right of that lens. Let's clean that. Can you see that? You see that stank nasty on my lens? Right there. Right there. Let's fix that. I've got some little lens wipes. Non-negotiables. Speaking of non-negotiables, never be without these if you wear glasses. HR smudge and stuff. Thank you, Tellerand. I'm pleased with them. There's a critical part of me that is not pleased with them, but most of my multitudes are pleased with my... Let this be a radical decision that I've made, right? I chose some funky glasses. Ooh. I'm really pushing the envelope here. Just wanted to further out myself. Like, someone sees those. Oh, there goes a nice socialist. Yeah, these are okay. Situation improved. Yeah, these are extremely lightweight. I was calling the color coral, but they're not coral. What are they? They have arrived. I know they have arrived, but I have to look at the email to see what they're called. My package has arrived, I know. Himalayan salt. The colorway is Himalayan salt. I can see it now. Based on my nice curative Himalayan salt lamp. I got a giant Himalayan salt lamp behind me that takes away my bad dreams and my nasty thoughts. And it's good vibes only. It's my good vibes only Himalayan salt lamp. Where is my Himalayan salt lamp? These are called Himalayan salt matte finish. I don't see what the material is. Whatever it is. I stopped asking questions after I put them on. Understated in all the right ways. Thank you. That's not a bad description to go by for like anybody. Like me. Describe me. Understated in all the right ways. I don't know if that fits, but I like it. I guess in a literary sense, I like it. Understated in all the right ways. Good verbiage. I like it. Pam, welcome in. Hi, Pam. Next this Friday, gonna work on some ancient maps. I'm exploring what the US would look like if coasts flooded. Starting with here, let's imagine where I live flooding. Yay! Does that have anything to do with the recent data supporting, like, 3 of our major cities in Texas sinking, like literally sinking because of freshwater depletion? Did anybody see that? That was one of the big things in the news in the last 48 hours. Okay, 72 hours. Dallas, Fort Worth, and the city of Houston. City of Houston was at the top of the list. Sinking. Literally fucking sinking. As if Houston already didn't have enough problems. If Houston didn't already have enough uh-ohs. I saw the article and it looked like clickbait, but then I saw there was like a lot of comprehensive data behind it. And as I come through the list, I was like, oh shit, Fort Worth's on that list. Sink or swim, stockyards. Sink or swim, cowboys. Where's your giddy up now? You said swim lessons were for queers. Now where are you? Yuck. It ain't that bad, but there is a significant reduction. Let me pull this up. All the biggest US cities are sinking. Okay, 4 days ago. I don't recognize this source. Oh, it's from Columbia University. A new study of the 28 most populous U.S. cities found that all are sinking to one degree or another. The cities include not just those on the coasts, which is maybe among the more surprising things. Like Fort Worth ain't exactly coastal, where the relative sea level is a concern, but many in the interior. Furthermore, using newly granular data, the study finds that some cities are sinking at a different rate in different spots, or sinking in some places and rising in others, potentially introducing stresses that could affect buildings and other infrastructure. Are we going to see more? How do you accommodate architecture to that and logistics? You build more structures on like stilts? Some cases, yes. From the Nature Cities Journal, here we go. That's a pretty recognized, well-regarded scientific journal, Nature. Now in mental health news, existential dread. The land beneath you is eroding quickly. That makes me feel safe. Pam, your other pair of glasses are missing. What's your prescription? Actually, never mind. I was going to suggest shipping to Canada, but that's cost prohibitive. I'm banned. That's illegal. I go to prison if I send anything to Canada, if I smuggle frames to Canada. But as part of the rebellion, I will become a frame smuggler. And more. Let's see, can I share that? This is kind of interesting. It's relevant. It's culturally relevant. Big text. I think that's way zoomed in. That's too much zoom. It's too much zoom. Too much zoom, not enough boom. You know what I mean? Too much zoom, not... Let's How do you zoom that out? Is that something I can fix? I know that it is. Go away, me. Hi again. Bye again. It's an issue with the formatting on the page. I don't like it. Let's try there. There, that looks nice and presentation worthy. It's already happening. It's happening right now. Honey, where's my floaties? Where's my aquatic safety cowboy hat? Not that one, the one with the koozies built in. The slow and gradual sinking of the Earth's surface, land subsidence is a present and growing hazard with costly environmental, social, and economic impacts in urban centers. Globally, the narrative of sinking cities has drawn widespread attention to rapidly sinking coastal areas such as Jakarta, Bangkok, Venice, and New Orleans. However, beyond these vulnerable coastal cities, a broader spectrum of major cities worldwide, I'm trying to sound like an NPR pundit here, broader spectrum of major cities worldwide, including inland metropolises such as Mexico City, Beijing, and Tehran, are experiencing major subsidence at rates that necessitate immediate attention due to their potential impacts on infrastructure. Even modest rates of urban subsidence can profoundly impact structural integrity of buildings, roads, bridges, and dams. There's a lot. Over time, these incremental changes may accumulate, magnifying vulnerabilities within urban systems, notably exacerbating existing flood risks with impacts on urban livability. I mean, we have to recognize that even without this, we can't, as humans, stay in one place forever. We're a migratory species, but a slowly migratory species. Way back when, some of our peoples crossed a land bridge. We've moved before. I had one social psychology professor try to argue years ago that the one thing humans, their greatest risk, their greatest boon, and the greatest bane to human existence was when we started to travel. It exposes us to more like feast and famine and hardship, but also determinants on potentially bolstering our longevity in the long term. We'll be affected by somehow. I'm not that far from y'all. You're not that far. Yeah, this Houston was at the top of the list. Was the biggest thing out of the 28 cities. Let's see where it shows that. Yeah, here. Urban land subsidence in U.S. cities. Houston, big red. Let's see, what do they call VLM? What are they referring to that in this article? VLM is the level of sinking. Negative VLM. They probably define that at the top of the article. Like, here's our article-specific acronym that we're going to reference later. They so would do that. VLM. Main. If you see it, let me know. I mean, it's gonna be their acronym for rate of, like, erosion and sinking. Vertical land motion, thank you. Very large mine, only sometimes, intermittently, and I can't always provide evidence to support that. Funny thing, you would think, well, some might think that brain volume, like the overall size of a brain, is a determinant on intelligence, and it's not. But yeah, here's the highest risk cities right there, Houston, and then That other red dot is more or less where I live. I'm in danger. I am no longer the danger. I am in danger. Only slowly. Maybe it's a good thing we haven't reproduced. Yet. That I'm aware of. Yeah, we're the second highest risk city. And the thing is, like, a lot of the city, even like the suburbia developments are like adjacent to, so throughout Tarrant County, like Fort Worth, a river runs through it. The Trinity River is the thing here. Just like, what is it? Lady Bird Lake in Austin is also like part of, what is that? The Guadalupe or something? Similar to that, there's a major river that runs through our city is the Trinity, and where I'm going with that is like there's part of the city that it just counts on that being like an access point, and so many other residences and city buildings are just less than a couple of miles away from waterside and in floodplains. Where's this in Oklahoma that's sinking? I don't know, that's like a midpoint. That's between Oklahoma City and Tulsa. I don't know what's between Oklahoma City and Tulsa. And what is this in California? That's like below San Diego. There's nothing below San Diego. What are they getting at? They make up a new city? They would. Liberals making up new cities. I started looking at elevation maps of Texas. I was surprised how low some of the areas are, like pretty far inland. Yeah, it's pretty flat here and low. Like you go further like to this corridor of Texas towards Austin, it actually surprisingly gets like what they call the devil's backbone. The devil's brown hole. It's surprisingly like rocky. And then the further west you go, elevation kind of changes a bit too, especially when you get out to like El Paso and towards like Big Bend National Park, which go if you can. That place is fucking amazing. And then Oklahoma, yeah, like the straight up 35 north here, which you can take all the way to Minnesota. 35 north is a highway that runs from like Austin straight through here. The higher you go, obviously the elevation increases. Good hiking here too. Maybe not. Maybe surprisingly, maybe not. Good hiking in Oklahoma too, and very much so in Arkansas. Arkansas is safe. It's gonna be like that scene in WALL-E, maybe. Save us, corporations. Save us, oligarchical spaceship. Save us, capitalism. You're our only hope. Well, you're getting some you're getting some steps in to develop like your game, right? Maybe go see your sister. And what's PEI? Is that an abbreviation or is that the whole thing? PEI. What is PEI? Or is that like shorthand for? Okay, I'm looking it up. Prince Edward Island? Is that it? Ooh, that looks pretty. If that's it. Excuse me, Prince Edward Island? Where it says. So this is where all the stock photos for jigsaw puzzles are derived from. If anyone wondered. You got sidetracked making maps for the game. Good! Let me be your co-working buddy here. Guess I have to look into some extreme mudjacking for my house. Yeah, I think, yeah, we'll find a way to slap some pontoons on these motherfuckers. We'll be alright. We know how to get by. I can pontoon anything. You just Show me it. Now tell it what for.
Now this is Podverse.
Reminder to turn my speakers down. Non-negotiables. I don't want to live on sinking land. There's the other thing. It almost just on the conversation about like land eroding beneath us because of infrastructure necessitating tapping further finite resources. It almost begs the question, like, should there be a cap on allowable persons in a given zip code, which could get out of hand, you know, disallowing anybody to live anywhere can sound pretty bleak, but when it comes at a known compromise of determinants like, yeah, the more we have to engineer solutions for depleting these resources, and now we also know over enough time that it negatively impacts ground level and soil erosion and foundations on houses and has some negatives to mitigate, you know, would there be a benefit to limiting populations per area? And let's just say under a utopian lens that the determinants are not excluding any populations based on gender, ethnicity, background, so on and so forth. It's just purely driven by kind of rigid dichotomous standards of safety. Or we just move. We just move, and then it becomes a classic SEP. We move, and it becomes a classic SEP. Someone else's problem. That's right. We moved into this place, we inherited several SEPs. Not my circus. Not my monkeys. Let's see. Move that over. If I crop that one more time and then zoom it a little more, that text becomes a little easier to read. Here we go. Here we are. Anybody already familiar with this? What non-negotiables do you have as you navigate your day-to-day? And if nothing comes to mind, and maybe they will after we go through the article, it's not a long article, so I'll just give it a once-over and then kind of compare that against a core values exercise, or just some prompts to get the wheels turning. No one has to answer anything here, but just like so many things, food for thought. Food for that hogue over there. THOT. Did this for your relationship? Haven't consciously thought about it in other areas, maybe. Yeah, it's most commonly used, like the verbiage is most commonly used in like interpersonal relationships, especially romantic relationships. But as you would imagine, there are a lot of practices, a lot of social skills, a lot of cognitive strengths that can be translatable to other domains that could be worth reviewing. And like so many cases, it's also worth examining, like, okay, the last time I checked in with myself, I firmly believed one fill in the blank, and some time has passed, and there's been evidence that I can appreciate that challenges what I used to believe and hold dear, would have identified as a core value that shifted. So the title, How to Have Non-Negotiables. Author is John Kim, licensed marriage and family therapist, aka the Angry Therapist. Non-negotiables are a solid foundation for fulfilling an authentic life. Having non-negotiables means not allowing anyone to take your true core away. This isn't just about having boundaries, it means driving your stake in the ground that supports your solid self. And that does make a difference because there's little compromises throughout the day. You don't consciously pay attention to it necessarily, but they do result in some physiological changes the more you deviate from your beliefs. Because at sort of a passive level, those are perceived as threats. Challenges, stressors are perceived as threats until we bring conscious awareness to them and we can kind of bypass solutions for them the more that we think about it. Your stance is the framework made of non-negotiables that house your true self and will define your character. Non-negotiables are things that are no longer you are no longer willing to negotiate about yourself because that shit didn't work. Having non-negotiables means drawing new lines with a Sharpie, not with chalk. By drawing those lines, you are telling yourself you have worth, even if you are unsure of your value. Having non-negotiables will protect you from events or people who strip you of your sense of value or would attempt to. There's a lot of crossover with boundaries here. And he's already mentioned this isn't just about having boundaries, but there's obviously a lot of crossover with knowing what your boundaries are. And sometimes we mention boundaries, it comes up, how do you define boundaries? Like, anybody's welcome to answer. How do you define boundaries? I can give you a pretty clear-cut definition that works in... Run the risk of overgeneralizing here. Run the risk of overgeneralizing, but I'll say it anyway. Pretty broadly applicable to make a clear understanding of what your boundaries are. If you're defining psychological boundaries, remember what a boundary is. A boundary is a barrier. So if you're defining psychological boundaries, clearly stated, a boundary as it relates to psychology is going to be something that is a consequence to a rule. So you have a rule for your determined social engagement, and when you've asked someone, hey, when you speak to me with that tone, I check out, and it makes me not feel comfortable having this conversation. Would you mind not sounding so passive-aggressive? Would you mind lowering your volume? And if they don't, then the consequence is you cut off that access and return to it later. That doesn't mean that it's completely gone, but there's the distinction of the boundary is the consequence to a request. Boundary is a consequence to a request. Did they fulfill you? Did they fulfill that obligation? Did they fulfill that request that you made? Did they hear you? And if they did not hear you, it's up to you to determine how many strikes they really get. I'm usually kind of a one-strike rule person, because then the more you allow strikes, because it sounds cute to use like, hey, baseball rhetoric. I'm a 3 strikes rule. It sounds cute, but honestly, the more that you reinforce, the more you risk allowing another strike to occur, the more you inadvertently risk reinforcing those unhealthy patterns to continue. So that's why I'm a one-strike kind of person. Call attention to discomfort when you notice it straight away, make requests, and establish those boundaries, and you can practice that. Non-negotiable, evident truth is more important than feelings. Would you mind expounding on that? What does that mean to you? You just mean like hard data that we have is inarguable against? So like something when it comes to service of vaccines, promoting vaccine adoption, promoting our health and wellness and longevity across a timeline. Access to gender-affirming care results in greater mental health for trans persons and reduced suicidality. We've got data on that, which might make some people feel squishy on the right, but the data supports that gender-affirming care of all sorts, it doesn't necessarily mean it has to be surgery or even hormone therapy, but just affirming their identity, clothing, whatever else. It all chalks up. The data supports that it's good to let people identify how they identify. I came from a fundamentalist and dogmatic background, which often was at odds with expert consensus on scientific data. Okay, well that helps kind of... It's funny how many of us come from like pretty religious backgrounds. Often, well, at least in my case, multi-denominational. So in my case, in my experience, and often our own experience kind of informs our beliefs, obviously, but It didn't connect me to the church any further. It pushed me away. I got a pretty solid cross section of various sects of Christianity, from non-denominational Southern Baptist, Central Christian to Episcopalian, Presbyterian, Methodist, Catholic. There's certainly some rituals to appreciate, but I mean, even at a young age, going with friends to church, I was already asking the questions like, okay, well, who's got it right? You know? What is your position, your geographical position, a determinant in my own young verbiage? Obviously wasn't that profound, but what is your geographical determinant um, affecting your spirituality and a religious choice? Like if you were born in India, you would have been Hindu, probably, or whatever. Even born anywhere else, you might not have been as likely to have been spoon-fed this religion, and that's I still enjoyed, I still, for the most part, enjoyed my exposure to those settings because if nothing else, like it was a social outing. I think that was the reward. It was a social outing. There was social connection. There's a sense of community. I think those are aspects worth maintaining that mitigate a lot of potential risk for isolation. There are benefits to having a sense of community. The body of churches, I think, is important. As like a psychological point of beneficence, I suppose. Before you get in anything else that kind of mucks things up as far as like different negotiations and interpretations of religious text, but they principally having a sense of community certainly is beneficial. I think I had a similar experience. My mom was a Christian Methodist. My dad was an agonistic, or excuse me, agonistic. My dad was agonistic. My dad was agnostic, ex-Presbyterian, interested in Judaism. I ended up interested in Buddhism and have been drifting towards scientific atheism these days. I dig it. One of my favorite psychologists still practices Buddhism and integrates a lot of that belief system into allowing it to kind of inform his practices and like his meditations. And though I don't identify as much with that, with those practices, I still find a lot of value in them. It's Rick Hansen. Rick Hansen. I've mentioned him here a few times. Church was social, but I got really turned off by the judgment and negative worldview. And that's the thing I picked up on. One of the, I guess, between the variety of experience, right? You notice which churches tend to attract like the more affluent, right? Where dress and appearance just seems to take a little more of precedence versus less of a focus on like materialism or archaic ritual or whatever else. Or finding a message to contextualize into a contemporary setting and applying it. So the easy thing, if they don't stray from the path, is just sticking with like the Beatitudes and the Sermon on the Mount and really anything from the New Testament, Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. If they stuck with that and applied like Christ's teachings to like pro-social standards, cool. But it wasn't always that, right? It was here's lessons in why we can be passively racist. Here's lessons in why we can determine that other people are less valuable than us, or why we would judge them for having hardship that we don't bend our lens enough to understand. While we're learning about stories where ostracization is a net negative and negatively impacts everybody, here we are preaching it. That kind of shit bothered me, and the one thing that really threw me off, and I know I've mentioned it here before, was going to a non-denominational church and witnessing faith healing really pushed me out early. It was just too much, too fast, too soon. It was gross. It was shocking. I hated what I saw. Because it just, before I had like the vernacular to describe, the inventory to describe what I was seeing, like I just knew that somebody was being grifted and it was unhealthy. I watched a woman who was physically disabled be risen out of her wheelchair, and they were convinced they were going to make her walk. And the person leading the sermon, no idea really what their background was. This church was like a quadruple wide mobile home, more or less, like a mobile building. sometimes you see out of like school districts kind of thing. But it was 2-level. In any case, the main level was where, you know, all the pews were and the little stage. But yeah, this was as I'm leaving like a youth group on my way out. Like I'm hearing this yelling and this cacophony and people gasping and you know, throwing up prayers on high and how they're going to heal this woman's body and she's going to walk. And I turn around and watch as they get her up. I witness the spectacle. They get her up and she collapses to the chair, and she was a pretty heavy woman. She went down hard, and arguably, no one there was like a physical therapist. No one there was wearing like a gait belt. No one there was equipped to help this woman back up or ease her down. It was just like a gasp of, oh, where was the divine intervention that you were fishing for there? And again, this is language I'm offering to that experience post hoc, because at the time it was just pure dumbfoundedness at what I had just witnessed. Like, this is happening at a church that I was invited to with a friend where I'd go to for youth group, and then on the way out I see this, what the adults were doing, you know? The church I went to did faith healing, as one might expect. Nobody was miraculously healed. And here's the thing, like, the placebo effect is a thing. There is evidence to support the placebo effect is a thing. If you believe that you are going to heal, there is such a thing as, like, positive mindset mitigating, like, the progression of, say... I was going to generalize, like, any illness, but that's not really fair. What's a good example? Just faster rates of healing, like bolstering production of white cell count and wounds healing faster, or recovering from illness a little bit faster than it would be without those interventions. But it also begs the question, like, doing that in addition to, in conjunction with actual medicine, you know, would that have been further expedited? But outside of the generous application of placebo, yeah, I think across the board, faith healing is going to be pretty risky. And we usually see it well, I say usually, there's a risk of it being done in like a grifting setting where there's money doled out to the church, and then that commensurate healing done by money doled out to the church when that money could have been invested in actual medicine. Evidence-based practices. Daz, welcome in. I grew up around a lot of different denominations that constantly made themselves out to be different from the other, but weren't really that different. Their beliefs and what was different ran the gamut from genuinely positive but mostly awful. Yeah. I think that is a pretty fair assessment, and a shared experience on my end for that matter. They're all just trying to have the coolest club in town, you know? To be clear, my position is that there are lots of really cool religious folks out there, but if somebody were to try to take away that which makes me who I am, it would be objective data. And the things that we can investigate and study would ground me, not things like miracles. I like that too, yeah, that's why I'm just a big advocate for... If you are going to be religious, hold space for both things. If you're going to allow that God birthed everybody as the prime mover, philosophically speaking, then you can also allow that mechanisms evolved with us to help keep us alive so that we can continue the idolatry or whatever your rationale is for worship and proliferating a flock. Being a fisher of man, as some religions call for. Whatever the case, yeah. And there are some churches who do some very pro-social good in their community. They make a direct community impact. Arguably practicing socialism, gasp, by doing that. So I'm with you. It's strange that we have to even acknowledge, like, in so many cases we bring up religion in any case, it's almost like out of conditioning, like there's this wounded part that's concerned. We always have to make that concession. Now, I don't mean all religions, and we have to acknowledge that not all religions are bad, and some of them do good. We have to do that every time. I'm almost conditioned to do that because I'm anytime it comes up, like I'm waiting for somebody to snap. Like, what about me? I believe in God. Good, great, and you go to church. Cool. I'm not attacking you. But without fail, anytime I've mentioned I'm a secular humanist who is an ardent supporter of evidence-based practices and scientific literacy and understanding that science is going to change based on new evidence, and that's why I appreciate it, that's why I find it beautiful, every single time I'm not forced. There's a good example of a non-negotiable. That's a conversation that I don't allow anymore that I used to entertain. But in the past, if I mention that around someone who is still practicing their faith, of course I have to be metacognitive about it and realize that if I mention that I'm a-religious, then they're going to feel some sort of wound by that and some compulsion to try to pull me back in or consider me lost somehow or corrupted by some evil, which is not the case at all. You know? And they're not owed that explanation. If anybody's ever struggling with that, similar type of emotional discomfort, just for what it's worth, that's the conclusion that I came to, is that they're not owed that explanation ever. And that's one thing that became a non-negotiable for me, is that unless I'm volunteering it, I'm not gonna, have that conversation when someone's, hey, we should talk. I really want to know why you believe what you do, because it's nothing but, my experience, it's been nothing but surreptitious motivations to, like, okay, well, now that I've heard you, have you considered this? Have you considered this one other thing from this book that you consider fiction that might change your mind? And no. We have rational minds for a reason. I think so too. I think it served a purpose once. I think religion served a greater purpose once. Arguably for population control, it is no longer really needed. That doesn't mean that we don't need social spaces and connection, because we very much do, for our longevity and well-being and resourcing everybody up. There's a humanist chaplain at the hospital where my mother works, and I think about, that's really cool. That's the first I've heard of that. Most chaplains I've run into are like Catholic, at least the ones here. Humanist chaplain in the hospital where my mother works, and I think about how they support all kinds of different patients from different walks of life. They're probably very different from their own. Yeah. Oh, so they're for everybody. Dynamic that dynamic fascinates me. Like the need to have someone be a part of this too, or else the world is going to be destroyed. Yeah, that concern that one of us, and if you're othered, there's some level of corruption that needs to be teased out. I like how all of that became just like one long format story of like, and there's where I have non-negotiables with some conversations about who and how much, who I feel comfortable sharing with and how much I will share. Non-negotiables are things you are no longer willing to negotiate about yourself because that shit didn't work. I know we read that part already. Having non-negotiables means drawing new lines with a Sharpie, not with chalk. I would challenge that a little bit, because our minds are going to change over time. Things that we held valuable, even like a core value, may shift over time. Some things won't. Like, right, one of the core values easily might be do the most good, do the least harm. Like, that's not going to change. You want to do the most good, you want to do the least harm in any impact that you make. At least I do. That's one thing that helps motivate me, get me out of the sheets, keep me moving. I like teaching, I like doing good, I like helping others. It feels good to do good. That just is like some self-reinforcing factor that I, spin cycle on. It's non-negotiable for me. So that's one thing that's not likely to change. But as like our cultural competencies bolster over time, some other things may change along the lines too. By drawing those lines, you're telling yourself you have worth, even if you're unsure of your value. Having non-negotiables will protect you from events or people who strip you of your sense of value. Think of those who would try to use any perceived weakness as an exploit if you volunteered something to them previously that they could use against you. And those are not people that you would typically consider a friend, but they might be somebody who is your employer or superior. No one can take away your value but yourself. In practice, however, we allow others to take away our value all the time. Having non-negotiables circumvents this possibility and cultivates self-protection, which in turn fosters growth. Most people negotiate more than they realize. Then they wake up one day and wonder why they're so happy. Another example that comes to mind is just like not confronting somebody being a schmuck in like a customer service setting, another customer who thinks they're always right, adopting that ideology, and then just hyper criticizing the person at the register, you know, and no one intervening because there's that internal concession of just like let them self-diffuse, let them be about their way, but then when is it appropriate to intervene? There we go. Getting the sniffles again. Yeah, reeling from the spirituality talk. Just it's exuding from me. The hospital has religious chaplains too. They all manage to work together. I love that that exists. I straight up did not know that role exists, that there would be humanist chaplains. Because even then, you think of most hospital organizations, like even Texas Health Resources is one of the larger ones in this state. You know, the name alone doesn't suggest that there's any religious affiliation, but most of their hospitals are. There's like THR Presbyterian, THR Methodist, Harris Methodist, so on and so forth. Where like their company culture is still steeped in some sort of Christian value, and then you know, by proxy, their chaplains have some sort of religious affiliation. So to open things up to their cultural competency to update a bit and recognize that not all of their patients are going to have some religious connection, I think is deeply important. Energy Pulsar, welcome in. Do you prefer to go by Pulse? And if you go by any other name other than the pseudonym I see in chat, let me know how to put some respect on your name. Up in which I could still use the basic Baptist boy since most of my family is religious, but I'm curious for the knowledge and in a belief that I'm curious for knowledge, and if a belief can't stand against evidence, in my book, it's not worth having. I like that. I share a similar principle. I mean, I will update. I think we all experience a little bit of diffusion if we see something that's counterfactual to what we've believed. And it takes a little cognitive effort to get to a point where we're updating our belief system based on something that challenged it. But even so, it's not that hard to do. It's not that much of an affront. So yeah, I think we share that value. Any part of the name is fine. Okay, yeah, we're running through. So non-negotiables is going to be open to interpretation a little bit here, but it's more or less connected to like your core values. If you've run through like a list of what your core values are, a good example is one that's never going to change, doing the most good, doing the least harm. That's never going to change, but some others may have been updated over time. Like, where do you make concessions in conversations? Where do you feel like you might shrink down that you otherwise may not want to continue shrinking down in those social settings? Or contrapositive to that, and where you may have been a little overbearing and may want to be mindful of how you balance that. I think ultimately that's what it's asking, is having some sense of like cognitive strategy to recognize like, hey, am I operating in any setting in alignment with who I think I am? This says, let's do a quick experiment. Let's take out a piece of paper and make columns for each part of your life. Friends, work, family, and your relationship, or your last relationship. In the columns, write down all the things that you've been negotiating. Really think about this. Are you negotiating your standards, your passions, your truth, your voice, your worth, your relationships, your career? Career comes up for a lot of people because there's that cultural concept of thinking that we have to have some identity connected with our careers, and we don't always. We can give back a lot to ourselves outside of our 9 to 5s. Are you negotiating what you really want to are you negotiating what you really want to do with your life, and what were the consequences? How did these sacrifices affect the quality of your life and the beliefs that you have about your day? I think it's also worth asking, you know, were there times where you were patient enough with the situation that you made a concession and it worked out for the better? Sometimes that is the case. Most people negotiate more than they realize when they wake up one day and wonder why they're so happy. I should have remembered that the past 3 years. Luckily, I remembered it today, though. It's funny what little pearls of wisdom we connect with and have us immediately reflect on. Oh, I hadn't thought about it that way. Hot shit. That's some good shit. How do you form non-negotiables? Look at your life, think about all the things that went wrong because you negotiated something, follow that string, and you will see that it's tied to your sense of self-worth, which is tied to your truth. You negotiated because you separated the two. Bad or unhealthy days, unhealthy events always chase compromised truth. Bad or unhealthy events always chase compromised truth. As you create non-negotiables, you will most likely feel some pushback. This is normal. But at the end of the day, it will come down to what's at stake if you don't hold on to your non-negotiables. That's the question you should ask yourself. For example, say your non-negotiable is I will no longer be in an unhealthy relationship, then ask yourself, what's at stake if I negotiate to be in a healthy relationship? There's a high chance you'll repeat toxic or unhealthy patterns. Well, that could segue into our entire conversation about secure versus insecure attachment. Which can and often does change. Your growth, potential, and happiness are at stake. Non-negotiables are essential because they provide clarity and stability. They help you define who you are and what you stand for. By knowing your non-negotiables, you gain a sense of identity and purpose. They can act as a compass, guiding you forward to a life you truly desire. Without them, you risk compromising your needs, getting into abusive relationships, potentially, falling into depression, and ultimately believing that you are worthless. So I think that's ultimately part of it. Is it's less of like a puritanical strategy of like, am I operating in my true self at all times? Because I mean, no one's going to be that metacognitive all day. Even the Buddhist monks deviate from being so metacognitive and introspective all day. It's just, that would be inhuman, that would be abnormal. But the overarching goal of this is if you're thinking about thinking, then you're slowing down, and that's going to communicate safety to your central nervous system, and that's going to help you think a little more clearly about things that you want to goal direct towards. And that's really kind of the concept behind any cognitive strategy, is getting you to pause and slow down and recognize what's coming up for you internally. What do you want to change your mind about? What do you not? Where are there shades of gray? And in often cases, there are shades of gray. We tend to operate in shades of gray. Very few things are black and white. There's the link to the article we just reviewed. And if you want to work on a little something, I'll drop this in the Discord later, but you can have it now. Just a quick sheet, more food for thought, values, discussions, questions you can use. I'm not going to go through all of them, but one example, think of a person you respect or look up to. What do you think their most important values might be? What strengths or qualities do they have that you admire? And when I see questions like this, I think it's also possible to have some fun with these. Like when you see questions like this, it doesn't always have to be a real person. This can be Doctor Who. This can be David Tennant's Doctor Who. This can be Gandalf, gray or white. This can be fictional or non-fictional. As someone that you admire, that you would want to pull some strengths from and adopt into your own, because that's kind of how we get by. We take inspiration from others, we synthesize it into who we are, and see if it makes sense for us. When life gives you therapists, make therapist aid. I like it. It's one of my go-to like free resources. I'm at a point where I'm tempted to pay for like a monthly subscription because there's a lot more stuff that I want access to. But as a poor, I'm not going to. I'll give you what I can for free 99. And we'll squeeze all the therapist aid we can out of that into our glasses. I like that I went through that and it was still really cropped and formatted to the other page, and y'all were cool about it. Y'all were real cool about it. One of these days I'll find a nice universal setting for this right here. I mean, I'm kind of done with it at this point anyway, so I probably don't need to dick around with it too much. Dick around, bright eyes. Here we go. You got it. You get it. Thank y'all for the discussion. I think we're ready to play some Vidya. We're ready to play a couple of hours of... Here's the thing with Final Fantasy IV. I think we may be stuck at a point where I've got to get a little grindy. We got to get a little bump and grindy. And we'll see. I've got a guide that I'm going to check out. There are other resources that I really like. Very Well Mined is one that I go to a lot. Because they tend to be more concurrently updated. All of their articles on Very Well Mined are peer-reviewed, which peer review is also important. Almost all of their articles are written by licensed professionals and then reviewed by other licensed professionals, so they're going to be citing sources and have links to credible outlets to kind of bolster what they're up to, and that's important to most of us based on what I saw here. Evidence is based, mama. And if what I just said is at all unfamiliar, I'll drop the link here. It's another place I go to pretty often, and we'll sometimes find articles that we can use for conversation here. I don't often rely on Psychology Today. I know the article that we just read was from Psychology Today, and they're fine. They're just... Their bread and butter is being a network of therapists for client discovery. They're a bigger... Their bread and butter is being a client discovery tool. Psychology Today you can use to find a therapist. Granted, it's also a magazine, it's a print magazine, and you get articles like what we just reviewed. But notice, like, everything we just read, like that whole cognitive exercise, it wasn't really needed, but a lot of it was just kind of anecdotally based. There was no source cited on, here's evidence to support, like when I mentioned the placebo effect earlier, here's evidence to support why this cognitive strategy works for others. Which I guess if you're connecting it to like CBT, then sure, there's plenty of evidence to support that that's beneficial. But also why I mentioned like the connection to like communicating safety to your central nervous system, getting you out of fight or flight. A lot of those cognitive strategies are very helpful in doing that. Any hey video games. How we doing on time? How we doing on time? Safety is one of those things I really took away from the science of stuck. I like that one too. I know the book was formatted to where you could like jump from chapter to chapter, but I still read it from back to front. Britt Frank has a new book coming out tomorrow. Which, maybe after next pay period, I can get me a copy. Align your mind. There we go. Align your mind. Yeah, maybe something you can connect. Like if you've got the Libby app, I'm gonna check on that too. Align Your Mind is the new Britt Frank. Releases tomorrow. Which, based on the description, she got into it a little bit in The Science of Stuck, referencing therapy modality called internal family systems, IFS. I get a sense she's using more like parts language here because it's literally on the cover. Make peace with your shadow using the power of parts work. The shadow, for those who don't know, is like a reference to Carl Jung, Jungian prospects of having your inner shadow. And the short version of your inner shadow is that being an amalgam of all of your inner critics. Everything that you don't like about yourself or think you don't like about yourself, every judgment, every perceived slight, every shame, that was his concept of the shadow. Granted, that was a long time ago. Is it still universally applicable? Not necessarily, but a lot of good therapy modalities branched from that concept of the shadow because it gives you a sense of, if there is a monster within me, how do I confront it with compassion and realize that this was born from within me and therefore it is of me? And how do I operate with this in alignment to get it to understand that there's certain levels of vigilance that are not always needed? Can I ask this monster to, or this shadow, or this creature, or whatever's within you, however you identify with it, and that's the fun that you can have with it. When can you access that and ask it to like witness you in certain situations versus criticize you? When can you ask it to soften? And whatever else. So I'm very curious where she's gonna go with this. Shadow Link, yeah. I'm a sucker for like using nerd culture and pulling that into mental health, and that's an excellent example of just like that shadow self. Like, how do you confront it? What do you do with that? Of course, in the game, you just, you fuck it up. But we fuck our inner shadow selves up with compassion, I think, is the idea there. Not on Libby yet, I think. Okay. Well, maybe by the end of the week. Maybe by the end of the week. Let's see. We've been live about an hour and almost an hour and 15, which means it's about time for us to take our first break. Let's do that. Let me top off my cup, and when we come back, I'll go ahead and change the stream category from chatting to Yonder Retro. LOL, I clicked raid. We're done! I'm gonna raid. Alright, we'll change that to retro. And we come back, we'll try to make some progress in Final Fantasy IV? Maybe? Thank you! There's a lot to practice in a first stream. Thank you. Yeah, we'll change the tunes up a little tiny bit. And welcome in. I'm gonna go a little bit softer now. A little bit softer now. A little bit softer now. Grams. About to take a break, in which I will encourage you all, somatic experiencing, somatic meaning of the body, scan your body meat from your toes to your tits. Mamas, go a little bit higher. Notice where you've got some tingles need tuning, and turn towards that. Tune your tingles. Give yourself movement where available. Top off your cups. Remember that you can't pull from an empty one. I got some movement for you. And I'll be back soon. Grams! Wake up. We're at Grandma's. We're at Grandma's. Grams! Grams, you know how delighted I am that you were able to attend PAX. That is cool as shit. Grams, did you get to go to the Geek Therapeutics booth? Did you get to interface with them? That's all right. They're around every year. They'll be back around. That book that we've talked about here before, Meme Life. Cultural examination and the origins of mimetic culture from past to present, and especially an examination of its use online. Really entertaining book. The author would have been there. Dr. Shane Tilton, PhD. I think maybe Cyrus Black got to connect with them. Maybe I need to ask. Yeah, I don't know the team that operates out of that area. There's different like pods of employees, so I don't know most of the guys there. But Shane, I got to work with. He flew down whenever they had me help with their booth at the Fan Expo a couple of years ago. Good dudes. Oh, there's another psychologist I like that was there that runs the Zeitgeist channel on YouTube. Rachel Coert. She did some panels there. Here is her YouTube. Y'all might get a kick out of that. And there's a lot of information that I've talked about here that has come directly from her and other studies that she has cited. She does a great job debunking information like, are video games bad for you? Kind of things. Or video games, the common like right political punditry trying to conflate some gaming, playing violent games with some connection to violence in real life, and there's really no good data to support that. She debunks a lot of that and more. Help her channel grow. Grams, you gonna be back on the mic this week? I realize I haven't lit this. I haven't lit this candle in maybe ever. From the looks of things, maybe ever. I think it's time. I think we're due. Let's add a little ambiance here for us, huh? Ooh. What is this? Well, it's eucalyptus, of course. Okay, bye. Almost dropped that match head in my coffee. That'd have been a little zesty, huh? Like a little fresh zest in your coffee? Here's a matchstick head. Might be a while before you climb into this rabbit hole. You're welcome. I figured that'd perk somebody's ears up. It's a great channel. She is a bright light out there. She's got at least 1, 2 books published relating to psychology and video games. Good stuff. Good old smoked coffee. That's it. We roasted these beans over cherry wood. Mmm. I am so very going to need a guide. I have a contingency too. Here's the thing. I bought a newer game semi-recently. I wasn't intending to. It was whenever I went to get these discs resurfaced. Whenever I went to get these discs resurfaced, the shopkeep was only charging $1 a piece to do that, and I felt like I wanted to make a bigger transaction for them, so while I was there, we bought this, because I'd never heard of it, and the cover and description on the back alone was enough to compel a purchase. Plus, it wasn't obnoxiously expensive. So, from what I could glean, it's like an Onimusha Devil May Cry style game, but yeah, I'd never heard of it. It escaped me years ago. So I have a contingency if for whatever reason I don't feel like level grinding in Final Fantasy tonight, which is entirely possible. It's entirely possible I'm not gonna feel like level grinding, but we'll see. The guide that I read made it sound like I need to get to level 10 before I move on from where we left off last time. And from where we left off last time, we are one of two knights who are brothers who have some connection, but a little bit of a rift due to loyalty to their kingdom and king, who asked them to do some very naughty things, tantamount to genocide. And along our way on the king's orders, we encountered a lush forested town, and then that lush forested town was burnt the fuck down by that king, who they're out on the job for. And they rescued a little girl, who they then found out that the little girl, they also inadvertently killed their mother by way of her dragon familiar. It was a whole thing. The brothers then split up. One of the knight characters is now like at an inn with that little girl who is also a sorcerer, a summoner rather, and that's kind of where we left things off. From what I gathered in the guide, before we move on again, whatever level I'm at now, I think like say 5, we're supposed to be at 10 before we move on. And any enemy encounters that we ran into before were kind of abysmal. Like we didn't last very long. But we'll see. There's always the possibility of me just playing a little bit off stream and, you know, muscling up a little bit. Muscling up a little bit and then coming back better prepared. Here we go. Here's more or less where we left off. The city of Kalpo? When you enter Kalpo, Cecil will make haste towards the nearest inn where the innkeeper will allow Rydia and he to rest for free due to Rydia's condition. Rydia? Tomato potato? Unfortunately, during the night, a general from Baron comes to... That's right, they're from the Kingdom of Baron. A general from Baron comes to collect Rydia. Cecil refuses to hand her over, and a fight ensues. This is what happened before. On the last episode of Final Fantasy IV. A fight ensues with the general and the 3 of his cronies. When you gain control of the party thereafter, it's time to explore town a little bit. You can find an ether in a jar above the weapons shop on the right side of town. You can also walk around and talk to the locals to get some more information on what's going on presently. Ignore the weapon and armor shops initially also. Instead, enter the house on the right side of town, and here you'll find Rosa, who is stricken with a disease that can only be cured by an item called the Sand Ruby, which we'll get for her shortly. Okay, well, let's talk to her. Before leaving town and heading to a cave, we need to head into order to continue our quest. It's a good idea to go to the local weapons store and buy Rydia a staff, which is slightly stronger than the rod she has equipped automatically. Other than that, since Rydia starts on level 1, you definitely want to run around outside of town. Here's where it says to basically get to level 10 before moving on. Well, here goes something. We'll keep the Hollow Knight music going. No? No. I also noticed when I spun this up earlier, just for QA purposes, There's a FMV at the beginning on the menu that we didn't watch before that I want to see now. There we go. I'm gonna let it ride. See, I think I skipped this before. Or maybe the disc was scratched enough that it like stammered and then jumped to the menu. I don't remember getting this airship video before. So we're gonna watch it. I might have been doing a little button mashy. That might have been why. I might have been a little mash daddy over here. That's it. Cool enough. Cool enough. Intrigue, Allure. Originally released in 1991, then again in 97, and again in 2001. Square, you rascals. Oh my god, I love that loading screen. And playing ball over a chocobo. Here we are. Kaipo. That's where we at. Okay. Said to what, go to the house on the right? Not a lot of options here. Hello? We found a girl from Barren unconscious just outside of town. The poor thing's been afflicted with desert fever. Dessert fever? Let's get her a hot fudge sundae at once! She keeps muttering to herself, Cecil, Cecil. Rosa! Rosa. Bleh. Bleh. Continues. Oh. Oh. Continues. Bleh. Bleh. Oh, okay, that's all we get. Hi there, Red Wizard. To cure desert fever, you need a red jewel called the Sand Ruby. It can only be found in a cave where the ferocious antlions dwell. Hmm? Fine. The one book we've pulled off the shelf, or all books on this shelf, are a series on curing desert fever, and the cure is Sand Ruby. Beautiful. Hi, person. Damcian is north of here. It rules over the entire desert. People say the Prince of Damcian has a lovely voice, like a siren's. He sounds like a sissy if you... Oh, wait, I remember. I remember that text. You sound insecure as fuck, bruh. I want to go to Damcian, but there are too many monsters in the water cavern. Hey, check out this dance! Shamon, hee hee. I like that spontaneity. No notes. No notes, bravo. If you're gonna travel with that little girl, you should move her to the back row. How do I do that? How do I do that? Oh, order. That explains why I was probably getting her killed a little too much before. Desert fever all around. Oh, what you mean desserts? You can have desserts. You have some leftover conchas from the Mexican bakery today. From today. I heard there's a big monster with 8 arms in the water cavern. That sounds promising. 8 arms? Alright, maybe now, if I get into a scrap, Rydia, since she's in the back, maybe her survivability's gone up a little bit. And we'll see just how painful it is to level up. So remember the last JRPG we played was Legend of Legaia. And it took almost 3 months to get through. This game, from what I could estimate, should take a little less than a third amount of that time. And probably much less if I can spend the next few Sundays really putting some time in. Okay, she survived a fight. Maybe she'll level up. Please level up. Old tech guy, welcome in. Rydia leveled up, thank fuck. And she learned ice. She leveled up twice, thank fuck. I'm grateful to you, Rydia, for not dying and leveling up twice. You're so strong, you're so brave, let's do it again. If you level up 2 more times, we have a dessert fever party for everybody. She levels up 2 more times, then we can promise a dessert fever party for everybody. I just spent all my goddamn money on you. We're going out for frozen custard. How was your Monday, Joe? Thanks for spending part of it with us. Alright, what's going on with her now that she can use ice? That sounds cool. She has 20 MP, her health has like doubled. She got that white magic, she can cure. Awesome. Ice 1, what is that gonna cost? MP 5, so we can use that 4 times in a fight if we need to. Oh wait, what was my guy's level? He's level 12. Oh! Well, now I understand why the guide says get her to 10, because he's drastically over-leveled from her. Yeah, all things considered, a pretty good, you know, as far as Mondays go, it was pretty good. Can't be a bad day if I went to a Mexican bakery, you know? Came home with a bag full of conchas. I say bag full, that's only 3. That's only 3. The conchas are very large. They're bigger than my head. She learned sight beyond sight. Remember, for the longest time, Final Fantasy was the gold standard in America, with Dragon Quest being rather unknown until, like, 8. But it's more now... You know what? That description is pretty well aligned with my experience with Dragon Quest. Because I didn't know about Dragon Quest at all until... If 8 is the one that would have released in, like, 2004 or 5, then that's exactly aligned with your description there. Because whatever Dragon's Quest was on the PlayStation 2 that would have released in like 2004, 2005, maybe 6, somewhere in that vicinity on the timeline. That was my first exposure to the entire series. And I was like, what is this Dragon Ball Z looking cool swords and sorcery shit? I'm about this. It was less dramatic, at least at a glance. What I watched my friend play at the time seemed less somber, less dramatic than like the Final Fantasy VIII that I would have been a stickler for at the time, or 10. So, like, you know, refreshingly kitschy. What is sight gonna do? Is that gonna cure blindness if we get afflicted? That's potential. Yeah, no, cure. I want you to cure you. You looking good. You looking so good. 8 was a 3D one with Red Bandana Man that came out in the early 2000s. Let me pull that up. I'll know it when I see it. Dragon's Quest. 8. Yep. It was less the Red Bandana Man and more the big boy with the crown and the big like furry vest. I remember him. There right there. Him. The part of the game I saw did not include this silver-haired Trunks variant, but she was there, and you know he's the main character from what I could remember. Yeah. It was a super big deal when it was coming out. It got the cover of Game Informer. Maybe that's why it was just like marketed really well. My friend who introduced me to it was also somebody who was like a trusted cohort to introduce me to a lot of anime. So it was like pretty well aligned with what culture I would associate with them. I didn't play it directly though. I watched him for maybe 6 hours total. Oh yeah, now that we've got a couple of level boosts, let's go ahead and save. I'm so glad that one NPC was coded with the script of like moving her to the back, because that was, I don't know if anybody remembers from the last stream, but she was dying in the first move every time, and it was kind of demoralizing. It's like, how are we supposed to move on from this? It also didn't help that, like, story-wise, she just lost her mother, and then, like, first battle, she faints. Daz, if I were ever to play a Dragon's Quest game, would that be the one that you'd recommend I start with? Oh, interesting. I just realized when I use Dark, it reduces Cecil's HP. Ooh, we can shock him now. I think I've got a tent I can use. I have one tent. Let's just use a potion. Since we have 10 of those. There's another RPG series that I know I never experienced that I would like to. Let's see, Black Magic. Let's see how they like a little ice. Let's see what that looks like. Chilling results. Cool. Now think about it, I don't remember if I got the cover, but I know for sure they had a full page of ads. Oh, if it got the cover, I bet we could look that up too. I bet that is look-upable. Dragon's Quest. You said it was Game Informer? Yeah. Game Informer. Cover. If it were the cover of like anything like tips and tricks or something. We'll let the fanfare just cycle around. There's one on eBay. Play. There's one from 8. Whatever Play magazine is, it's not PlayStation. Play Video Game Magazine, November 2005. I wasn't too far off on the timeline. I said 2004, 2005 earlier. But you can't see what I can see. Now you can. Now you can. For a mere approximately 20 doll hairs. It's all yours. I think it's cool. For that matter, what's the game going for? Oh, that's not horrible. That's, wait, that's a demo disc. So about 30 to, yeah, okay, 28, 30. It was re-released on the PlayStation 4? Oh, no, that's a totally different game. That's 11. Okay, well, you can see what else I was shopping for last time I was here. I would love to have one of these pocket stations. I know they're next to useless here in the US, but I still want one. I want one. Practicality be damned. We got multiple fold-out ads. What was an echo note? In Informer, but not the cover. The memories tend to meld together. That's all right. Still a pretty good memory. I'll pick up at the, I'll pick up the odd dated video game mag, depending on what store I go to and check the condition and everything, but like the odd old Nintendo Power or something, I'll grab those. I tend to get less excited about the old reviews, and somehow the nostalgia trip pings a little bit more satisfyingly by looking at the old ads within there. That seems to date it. And provide a little more reminiscence therapy. Oh, these enemies just attack no matter what. They don't wait on you. Let's see, she's level 5. Maybe it won't take that long to get her to 10 after all. She's at 63 to 65. MP, we need to restore her MP. Which, Ether does that. Ether does that. Or, how much money do we have? We can spare 50 gil to get in one more fight. Let's see what Bolt looks like. Ooh, I like it. Cecil leveled up? And they both did. Gorgeous. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. And do that several more times. That one fight financed our stay at the inn for the evening. Hello, Owlbear. Funny enough, many Final Fantasy games got the cover game format. Yeah, they push those hard. I get it though, like the art direction and, you know, all the Final Fantasies is really cool. They'll have their own like distinct interestingness. I'll say it. I'm well rested and ready for another round of fighting. Oh, monsters! Yoo-hoo! Yoo-hoo! Sand moth. Alright, whoever survives getting struck. So what do you think? Every 3-4 fights we should get a level? I bet it tells us how far we are. She's at level 6 now. Experience 908, next level 99. So after the next fight, she should level up again. And I think this is doing us the solid of when you level up, it replenishes your HP and MP, so that's cool. I love it when games do that. Up late last week. Oh, take care of your brain, X. We deeply value your brain. It is needed. The world needs your brain. Get some good quality rest. And thank you for kicking it with us for a little bitty while. And maybe, just maybe, we could see you on Friday again. Cognitive resources notwithstanding, maybe we could see you on Friday again. Thanks for coming to say hi. Y'all say night-night to X. She learned to hold. She learned to hold. Did she? Was I mistaken about the... Ooh, I think I was. Clearly, evidently. I was evidently mistaken about leveling up and replenishing health and magic. Okay, now that she's leveled up again. $426, so roughly 4 fights, 3 or 4 fights, she'll be at 8. Trying to estimate how many encounters it's gonna be until she's at 10. Thinking like 20. Her health has gone up quite a lot though, so that's nice. Can we get one more level and then go back to the inn? Just gotta kick up enough dirt, sand. I love that she gets experience too, no matter what. That's really selling me. I helped. Yes, you did. Here she totally did. $109. Echo note. I want to look at what that does. That sounds like... What does echo screen usually do? Silence? I think echo is the curative for silence. Yeah, okay. Echo note. Silence. She's got 20 MP remaining. Oh, that was different. $56. I'll do one more fight, at least. Pacing around here so much, I feel like the town's sole guardian. Have we swept the place clean? Who got first strike? I did? Good. $22 gil, 41 XP. Okay. And now she knows how to sleep. That's gonna be nice in larger groups. We can put at least one enemy to sleep and then focus on the others. Provided they're susceptible to it. Shit, we didn't want another fight here. Get another first strike. Take advantage of that. XP will be good. And this should finance the cost of our stay at the inn. Because somehow they always carry money. Alright, let's... It was a healthy round of fighting here. Let's heal up. In the middle of the day, good night. No breakfast with this bed? This place sucks. All the dessert you can eat, though. Alright, now... She's 8. Next level 479, so 4 or 5 fights. She'll be at 9. Maybe less than 20. Oh good, one survived, so we can cook them. Nah. I think on my old phones I had the text alert set to the Final Fantasy fanfare. It never got old. Lately it's been the, if I have my sound on my phone, which is kind of rare these days, but if the sound on my phone, it's the, like, the beacon sound from Star Trek, whenever they tap their little insignias on their suits. Nerd alert, I know. Hi. Ambushed. I don't like getting ambushed. Unfortunately, they've got shit aim and do as much damage. Cool. Not a lot of HP, or not HP, XP. This should produce a good bit, though. $140. Or one more fight should have her at 9. Okay. Excuse me, I wasn't ready for you. I was on my way to town to rest. Piss off. Or should I just go for 10? She has 50... Well, Homeboy needs to heal. Let's try... Magic Cure. Cecil. Cure. Here's hoping she gets a cure too, eventually. Alright, so that's healing 60 apiece. Oh, I also didn't check 571. 571. So 5 or 6 fights, and she'll be at 10. And then we can maybe just move on. And get her a new staff. I'll take it.
I'm okay, Dave.
Please be okay. Hi, Heather. I added like 4 extra R's on your name that time. Hi, Heather. How you doing? How you doing? How you doing? X was in here earlier. We unfortunately had to say night-night to X. I say unfortunately. I'm glad he's taking care of his noodle, you know?
I'm okay, Dave.
Good. Thank you for not misleading me with that alert. What you cooking up on this Wednesday time?
She was a fairy.
Besides fairy witchy business. Besides conducting the usual routine fairy witchy business. Grams, of course, your absence is always felt. And your presence all the more. I'd prefer not to miss you. How's that? 2 or 3 more fights, and Rydia will be sitting pretty. You attacking my back now? Better not. Better not attack my back. Heather, you'll be very pleased. The guide referred me to level Rydia up past level 1, so she hasn't died once this stream. She's almost a level 10. She's looking groovy. Daz, have a good night, and thank you for all your input during our, you know, the just chatting portion earlier. Or have a good shift. Thank you for whatever you're doing overnight. And choosing to work the, what would that be, 3rd shift? Let's get Cecil patched up a little tiny bit, and Nine Daz. How am I counting here? One more fight! One more fight, and our summoner should be at 10. She's got some new spells. Little Mama got some new spells. All the reason to put them to use. Bolt! Okay, the animation while she's charging her spell, that little meow, 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 that's kind of great. Ooh, one more fight. I'm gonna do one more. And it happens just as quickly, cool. Resilient butterflies. Moths? Moths. Sand moth. It's in the name. That's why they're angry. They're often confused for butterflies. I wish they were as pretty as a Luna moth. Oh, Mama, she level 10! I'm so proud of her. And she learned Venom. She's ready to spit some Venom. She's gonna clap back. I love it. She's gonna become our favorite character. I have a feeling. She's the new little Frit. The new old little Frit. Heather, would you like me to say swordsman in a certain way? We got some muns.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not going to.
Swordsman! Oh my god, I'm so glad you're here!
Becoming the Korok in that story was so much fun for me. Grams, are you watching us while you're having a dump? Because good. Just remember to wash your parts. Use a rag if you gotta wash your parts. He's so excited to sell me something.
Go good. Come on, need to buy something. You buy all the things. I got so much shit. Just give me your money. Come on, come on.
He's just so ready. Brass. I think she currently has a rod. We're gonna get her a staff, right? Is that what the guide says? Let's check the guide. Let me defer. Defer to the guide.
It says,
It says the page refreshed and I lost my place. It does. It says that. Okay, it says ignore the weapon and armor shops initially, and instead enter the house on the right side of town, and here you'll find Rosa, who is stricken with a disease that can only be cured by an item called Sand Ruby. That's right, she was stricken by the dessert virus. She needs dessert. Before leaving town, heading to the cave, when you talk to... Wait. Scroll to the top of the goddamn page again. Before leaving town and heading to the cave, we need to head in to order or to continue the quest. Go to the local weapon store and buy Rydia a staff. Why does that keep happening? Buy Rydia a staff, which is slightly stronger than the rod she has. Okay, so staff confirmed. You're welcome. Raise her to level 10. We did that. She learned 7 new spells. She sure did. Then go north and a little east of town. North and a little east of town, and we're gonna find ourselves a cave. Okay. Let's go exploring. Net fishing. That's like a plugin for Twitch, no? Or is it something you can play independently of Twitch? It sounds like the music's skipping. Something about the sound does not sound right. And now the sound has stopped. Well, let's equip. I'm gonna save as soon as possible. Something strikes me as abnormal that the music would stop like that. Cecil's 14. Uh-huh. It's chugging along here. I'm tempted to put this in the PlayStation 2 and see how it runs. That's the first time I've ever played a PlayStation game, and I heard like the lens motor scooting around on the disc. Could hear it searching. And the could hear it searching really rapidly, and then I don't know if y'all could hear it, but the music was like on a loop really fast, and then it cut out. Or created an opportunity for us to play our own music. Net fishing is distinct from lurk fishing. Okay. I'd seen something on Jessica's stream, Jessica's Bill. I thought that was one and the same. What is Cecil equipped with? What do you got? You got Shadow? Yeah, so does Shadow. Everything's Shadow. I am Shadow. You sure are, partner. That's so strange the music is gone. Northeast, right. Okay. And so we will. And so we will. Northeast. Da-da. Hi. Hi, Sister Sultry. No, we're borked here. There's no sound in my game at the moment, so that's a little odd. Oh wait, no, we've got. And now it's back. I think this PlayStation may be on its last leg. Venom, I'm venoming you. No, I'm not. No, I'm not. But I wanted to. Just know that I wanted to. I'm so ready to spit venom. Ah, Sister Sultry. Sultry, I caught Peanut stream earlier, but I couldn't chat. I just finished work, and I was in gym transition mode. I was gym transitioning? Gym-sitioning? I'm not gonna make that work. Either way, I caught his incentive stream. I caught a good chunk of it. He, you know, I think the objective was met. He indeed speed ran Mortal Kombat. 3 of them. That looks like a pile of eggs back there. It looks like an amoeba, maybe, with like a few eggs in it. It's gone now. Let's see how you like a little lightning here. Ooh, it's very effective. Big money! Is Cecil, is he still not to 15 yet? It seems like he should be. You gotta be close there, Bubba. 1352. Okay. 1352, fine. As you enter this cave, named the Waterway, first go forward and over the bridge there to a rocky platform with 2 treasure chests on it. Open them up, pee in one, poop in the other, then leave. Someone will eventually be upset. You'll never know who. Found maid kiss. Teehee. Go back down towards the entrance, head leftward. That's a word. Leftward. I did not leave that chest empty, I'll have you know. 'Cause it's a thriller! Ooh. Oh wait, if they're undead, I should try to cast Cure on them, maybe? Let's see. You fight. Let's see what happens if we try to cure one of them. Okay, it just heals them. That's bad. Eventually in Final Fantasies, when you're fighting zombies, you use curative magic on them and it kills them. Okay, well that kind of works. How do we like ice? How do you feel about ice? You sensitive to it? Are you cold sensitive? A little more. They're a little more cold sensitive. Good. It makes me wonder which Final Fantasy they introduced that. Dark worked. They're not very strong, so that's good. Okay, go leftward and then grab a tent from the treasure chest you come across here, and then shoot forward, cross bridge where you run and tell. Okay, we're gonna run into somebody. We're gonna meet a new friend. I think this is pretty straightforward. I don't want to keep looking at a guide. Down we get. I do appreciate the no-nonsense battle transitions. Uh-huh. Some Final Fantasies, they're a little stretched out. So clearly there's like elemental damage based on enemy type. It ran away, good. They have a will to survive. Alright, we want to grab this. So we can sleep outside. Could that be the dark sword? Indeed! Dark Knight, I need your assistance. What's wrong? I must get to Damcyan to reclaim my daughter, who was deceived by a wicked bard. We must hurry before I sense an ill omen. You must be the sage Tella. I was told you sounded hilarious. Indeed I am. That girl, she's a summoner. Perfect. She can help too. A giant monster lurks in the underground lake ahead. The devil even withstands my magic. Together, I think we can defeat it, and then I can finally be on my way. We're heading to Damcyan as well, so this makes sense. Then let us hurry. Oh, is he a forever buddy? Or is he just a temporary buddy? Some buddies don't stay forever. Remember, the foes in this dungeon are weak to thunder spells. You can usually team up on the entire group with either Tella or Rydia only, directing the spell at all targets, and having your other two party members simply defend. I haven't looked at that option yet. I didn't know we could use magic to attack everybody. Kinky. Go all the way to the right side of this room. Wait, head forward and then... This page sucks. Head forward and then rightward along the pathway and bridges going along the way to the right side of this room. You'll find a staircase granting you access to the water. Go into the water, into the northeast corner of the room, and find a treasure chest with an iron ring in it, and equip that to Tella. Ella. Okay. What? Do I want to hang on to that bomb? Oh, I guess that's not going to explode in my inventory? Cool. You hang out back here, Bubba. Level 20? Stud? Absolute stud McMuffin? Look at you. Wait, we need to get into the water. Can we just go up here? Or no? Oh, we can. Okay, and so to equip this to him, like his specs, I guess this goes here, maybe. Sure. After that, go left within the water, approaching the large waterfall there. Walk into it to access a hidden room. Really? I don't think I found the hidden room. Alright, let's try something. Do bolt. Oh, you just tap left again and it attacks everybody. Cool. This might take everybody out. Nice! Okay. That's exciting. Okay, there's a hidden room somewhere over here. I didn't believe you. Hmm? Cook 'em all, mama. Recal? What is recal? Oh, he's got it all. Okay, that's silly. I should be using magic. Let's tell a yellow. Oh, he needs a potion, I guess. Good job, Rydia. Alright, you should feel a little more vibrant. First strike, alright. Hit him with the bolt. Ah! Didn't find a secret area. Cute. Sultry, I challenge you, name one good thing. I don't care what it is. Name one good thing that happened today. Being here qualifies. Also, your Monday is almost over. It's almost your Tuesday. Who's attacking? Okay, let's try you. Oh, he poots out a little magic faster, it seems like. I'll take it all. Whatever diet food is, I'll take it. I'm not on a diet, but I'll take it. Extra minimum day, does that mean just not as high effort? What does extra minimum mean? So we've got an ad coming in about 7 minutes. I'd do for a break. Alright, we went to the secret room. Once back on dry land, work your way leftward back to the west side of the room and go forward through the door deeper into a series of caves. And eventually we'll find a save area in there. Cool. So let's go back. What was the fastest way to take care of these guys? Oh shit, she's out of MP. Well, we have an ether for that. I'm gonna save it though. I'm gonna save that though. Call? Chocobo? Oh, we're not doing that either. Okay. They're just gonna keep attacking us. Alright, you... Bolt. Everybody. That didn't seem to do shit. She's flashing, but we can't do anything about that. I would love to see what the summon looks like. Genuinely. But we can't. Should I just use the ether and get it over with? Oh, he's got like a crystal or a jewel or something that he charges up ahead of his magic. That's kind of cool. Okay, let's see fire on them. They might be the one different enemy in here. Oh, they respond so much better to fire. I need to get some more ether, damn. Or just go back outside and use a tent. We're not that far in. This works. B2. Somewhere in here is a safe spot. I felt a little wonky. Fresh electrified fish on the grill. Ooh. I get first strike. Cool. Let's attack this thing. And let you... Shit, is he at an MP2? Yes. I'm gonna be forced to use an ether, and I don't wanna. His magic is better. Oh wait, no. We're good. Cook 'em. Have at you, water bug. Okay, Cecil leveled up. Cool. I'm gonna run through my potions here. Have some. 118 of 132. He definitely needs it. Okay, add in 2 minutes. Should I go ahead and take a break now? I'm in control. Empty. Oh, there's a door. Hi, door. I have to take the long way around to get to you. Can I do that before it's commercial time? I don't know. Dark? Could attack them all. You know, I'm okay with that. I'm okay with Cecil just handling it. Belay them well with your dark sword. I like to tell I already knew who he was based on his armor and his sword. He has a reputation. Okay. Tell me I can't do anything about that? I refuse to believe it. I have 0 snoozes? I refuse to believe that. I haven't used any this stream. I've used none! Okay. I'm using one now. Well done, gang. Go in. He has 45 remaining. It works so well. It's super effective. Did I miss a chance to get whatever that chest was over there? I may have. Or we come back down and get it later. We'll rest here. Magic field repels all monsters. You can't. Oh, he's saying that. This magic field repels all monsters. You can save and use a tent or cabin here. Let's rest in my tent and prepare for the coming battle. Okay. I'm good with it. Catching some real Z's here. Fast asleep. She must have been very tired. Where is her home? Mist Village. She seems very gifted. With proper training, she'll be able to master many spells. Look at her. She looks so adorable. Reminds me of Anna years ago. Anna is my only daughter. She eloped with the bard to Dempsey because I didn't consent to their union. Pushed him away, did ya? What business have you in Dempsey? A friend of mine suffers from desert fever. Dessert fever. You need the sand ruby. Acquiring it won't be easy. Tell me more about this monster we must face. A vicious creature with 8 huge tentacles. We must kill it quickly and reach Dempsey before it's too late. Too late for what? I don't know. I only pray my instincts are wrong. All set. The first time we've seen him without his helmet. Okay, we'll save here. I'll save here, and then we'll take a break. Overwrite this data. Yes, please. Telesage. Thank you. Let's see. Pause. Starting to select don't do anything, do they? Oh, but we can change the party leader by doing that. Interesting. But not what I need. I'm gonna give me some sips. I'm gonna get me so many sips. I'll tell you why. Because I'm taking a break. Okay. Once again, the part of the stream where I direct you. Encourage and more than suggest you scan your body meats from your toes to your tits. Maybe go a little bit higher. Notice where you've got some tingles need tuning. Turn towards that. Give yourself what you need. If it's movement that you need, I got you. With some tunes. I will be back in 3. Thank you for riding that wave. This will be the last ad break of the stream. We come back. I ain't got much left in me. We'll conclude what I think is this chapter of the story, and then see who we want to kick it with for the rest of the evening. Tay. Back soon.
This record is being played at a club, disco, lounge, house.
Wake up. We're at Grandma's. I owe you, Heather. I'm gonna fix it. I said I was gonna grip and sip. I said I was gonna grip and sip, and I didn't do it, so... Cheers, mama. Let the decaf flow through me. Thank you. For insisting upon the thing I love. A delightful cup of brown. Ooh, what is this scene doing? What is this scene doing? There's something that looks like it wants to be moved, but I don't want to scoot it. I don't want to scoot it. I like it where it is. I like a zombie where he is. Especially if he is fresh out of a parts wash. You wash your parts, zombie? Better be washing your parts. I'm gonna trust you. I'm gonna trust you. I implicitly trust you. I'm gonna trust you that you got parts wash. And you're washing your dangle bits. And your holy bits. You know what? Okay, I was worried that was like changing the party leader rotation in this setting, which would be bad, but as long as it just changes the sprite that we're working through here, that's cute. Rydia gets to lead. Rydia gets to lead. Because, obviously. Ice Rod? Why would I not want to equip that? Immediately. It might be worse. Let's see. Gives her 1 extra on the attack. It doesn't... Here's the thing. I see that's attack, that's defense, and then the bottom left, I don't know if that's her magic at 4. Or what that represents. I'll have to look at a guide. Which we have. Had to do a whole lot of fangling for tomorrow's stream. Oh, did you already download the game? I don't know if it's like how graphically demanding that's gonna be. Or was it like a pre-order? Did you get a nice pre-order day? I haven't, I was kind of busy today. I didn't check anybody's... I was a selfish bitch today. I didn't check anybody's other Discord to see what they posted. I know I'm missing photos from Grams, from PAX. If you, Zombie, posted about getting your Doom, I am delighted for you. I missed it. You know anybody that does that, like just licks the shit out of their fingers before they turn a page? It helps. Get a little friction so I can turn easier. Not too many people that did that throughout my life. I think it's fucking disgusting. It's different if like it's their object and they're not sharing it, but if it's a shared book, like, don't do that. It's nasty. Viewing the main menu. Using magic. Magic type, select a spell. Game was hogging all of my GPU. I imagine with it being new, it's gonna be pretty resource demanding. Basically, I have to use the laptop to stream and the desktop to game. I've always wondered how that works. I've heard of people using 2 different PCs. Like, one is like a dedicated streaming PC, and then the other one is for gameplay. I guess it works the same way as just streaming from a console. You've got the streaming PC, and then you just do another video input for gaming, like a capture card. I don't know, I've never really thought about it. I think I'm close to discovering what's going on here. Laptop has an external Elgato? No shit. Okay, cool. I'm running the HD 60S Plus over here myself. But I'd love to have an internal card that just saves a lot of space. So I just took my desktop PC up to that. Okay. It's gonna be a big Wednesday. Oh, this is cool. It looks like eventually we can have 5 people in the party in a given time and they all get to, like, attack. I still don't know what that object is. Ooh, we can change the color of the window. Fine. Wait or active? Wait or active? Battle speed. Oh. We slow things down. Let me do that. Let's take it down one. Stereo, mono, control, cursor, window. Ah, we'll make it hot pink. How we feeling? Hot pink? Ooh. Stings the eyes a little bit. Hotter pink? Hottest pink? Bring it back down to Purple Town. Ooh, that's kind of satisfying. I like that. Pink. Ooh, that looks correct. That looks correct. I like that. I like that. I saw a Steam update from you, Zombie. You were playing something I really wanted to play, and now I can't remember what it was. What if I looked at Steam? That would jostle my memory a little bit. The guide's still not telling me what I want. I think that other object on her status was, magic. But maybe not. Because, yeah, he has 1 because he's not a magic user, but his attack and defense are really high. But can we just sort characters while we're here? Like, if I want to move over, can I use L and R to tab through? No. That happens in later games. So he's 20. Or it's the... Oh, I might be misreading that in general. Okay, his right hand is his staff, and then left hand defense, head. That could be it. Briefly opens Super Meat Boy, that's it. That's exactly it. Okay, I think I got what I needed out of the booklet. Yeah, Super Meat Boy, the game that prepared me for Celeste. Foggies! Apparently the game had cloud saves. I started in the middle of something, had no recollection of my progress. Interesting. Is that one you finished before or no? It's kind of an iconic indie. Rydia leveled up! Ooh, what's Warp gonna do? What's warp gonna do? I need to know. What that warp do? Which is cure, sight, hold. Where's that gonna take us? Warp just lets you move. I don't like it. Alright, I'll save my interest for now. Hi, Fiona. This is number 4. This is on... Let me show you. I'm actually really proud of this one because Manic Socratic sent me this. So this is Final Fantasy IV that was bundled with the PlayStation incarnation of Chrono Trigger. In a nice, tidy little double disc. Yeah. So I went and had these resurfaced a few days ago. We're not far into it. This is still technically like the first act. Harrowing story. Very quick with the emotional gut punch, you know? Very quick with it. But yeah, I never experienced this one. I hadn't played anything prior to 6. I played 6 through 10, and then I skipped a few. I still want to play 10 too. And then 15 would have been the last Final Fantasy I played. Well, good to have you. Saw you clearing out, you have a hell of a board game collection. It was in maybe Jessica's Discord, somebody's Discord I saw you had like, I guess you were reorganizing a little bit. Impressive. Very impressive. Yeah, I think we're about to wrap up the first act here, and then I'm gonna call it. No, we're definitely missing an item back there. I'm not that wedded to going back and getting it though. These I will. Easy money. We've done 1, 2, 3, 7, and 9. I love 9. 9 is the one I played the most recently. Even that was a couple of years ago. Few years ago for that matter. I loved that story though. It surprised me. I'm reticent to elaborate at why I was surprised. It was a theme change, without giving too much away. There was a surprise theme change as to what was going on there. Starts like a typical throwback swords and sorcery type fare. And then it weaves in a little bit of sci-fi. And I dug it. Tactics I still want to play too. Yeah. What little I've seen of that one, there's character cameos. Like I think Cloud is in that one briefly, or he's recruitable. You know that one, Tell? Is it at all connected to like any of the other games? Like, is it an extension of 7, or is like Cloud's feature in the game just this one-off like, you've been teleported here from another world? More okay with advanced nowadays? I love like most everything on the Game Boy Advance. Black. Bolts. Everybody. Cook 'em. Well done. Bolt one more time. I want to know what Psych does. I just don't want to waste it, you know? Maybe, Maybe it's like a status effect magic. I'll have to look it up. I think Psych sounds like it would result in like confusion status. Cloud is in tactics. Oh, you said advance. Sorry, I was like fixating on just tactics alone. Tactics advance is your favorite. I see now. I'm caught up. Hogue, I said tactic is advance. So tactics? The original tactic, that's your favorite? Tell? It's tactics? Only tactics, not advance it? Let me tell you what game you played. Oh my god, I love their faces. What are you doing in our cave? Cloud was in tactics, and he's only in one. He's only in the ones post PS1. Can't recall if he's in the OG, but no, him being in tactics has nothing to do with Final Fantasy VII. Okay. How do you like ice? Let's freeze these jellies. Okay, that didn't do much. These are kind of tough. Let's see what warp does. No effect. Okay, well, there we know. Have fire. Fire was very effective. Good. Oh, a GeForce driver is available. Thank you, NVIDIA, for always being on. Notice. We've been put on notice. It's N-O-T. Not us. Not us! Yeah, I think this summer will be a good time to get caught up on some Final Fantasy stories that I missed. Okay, we don't have fire yet. I wonder when she gets fire. I wonder what level. It's gotta be... It's only once. It's gotta be some early magic. She can't be too far from it. Oh yeah, I'd seen the sprite and like his character bio avatar, and that art style was really cool. HR glass? Or, oh, I guess that would be hourglass. What's an HR glass? Try Hala. Hourglass. Fight you. Bolt, I think, was effective for them. Maybe the character color's an indication of the element that we need to attack them with. Maybe not. I do wonder if you're attacking multiple characters here, if it splits the power of the magic up. Like the potency is kind of attenuated. What the fuck? Oh, she was frogged. She was frogged! That's why we have Maiden Kiss. Oh, I gotta see this. No! I don't want to go into battle like that. Shit. Okay, we'll use Maiden Kiss. We got a gator. Alright, well, Mama's back. I didn't mean to do that, I meant to choose fire. Go to sleep, then burn. Okay, that was briefly horrifying. Our bestie, our favorite, was morphed into a frog. That's very not okay. Ooh, Tella is looking pretty rough. I think I'm gonna use an ether on Rydia. How much does that restore? A sizable portion. I still haven't used the Chocobo summon. This leads outside, the monster lies in the cave beyond. You use a 10 outside if you must. Okay, so we'll save in here, and I guess they gave the space for a little extra level grindy if you need to. Everybody's pretty full up. Do I want to use a tent? Tents are expensive. Are you worth a tent? Tents are expensive.
Very expensive.
Let's just save and get through this boss fight, and then maybe get a little extra exposition and call it a stream. Cinnamon bagel, yum. I'm so glad I changed that menu to purple. It's correct. Cinnamon bagel for me is gonna be like if I'm tiering them, and you didn't ask me to, but all the same. The Holy of Holies for me is always gonna be an everything bagel. A nice thick THICC everything bagel. Then blueberry. Fuck with that bloob, and then Cinnahor, yeah. Where is our monster?
He's down there.
So we're back here. Did I do something wrong? We got more gators. Okay, fine. Ew, I wish I hadn't used that. Let's see if they like ice. I think lightning they were resistant to. Fire didn't do much. Ooh, ice is it. Ice on them gators. Yeah, did I make a mistake here? What the hell? Okay. Now, what did the zombies not like? They might have been cold resistant too. Yeah. Oh, fire. I think zombies burn. Still not that great. Still not that great. I'm sorry, zombie. Had to be done. I have to find your weakness. There has to be one. So far, it's no elements. And curative magic strangely doesn't work. I guess ice was the most effective, but still not much. I mean, they don't have a lot of health. It does just sap a lot of MP, though. One? You do 1 damage? Don't overdo it. See, that time fire did a little more. Interesting. Of course, there were fewer of them to attack. How else are we doing on health? Hella still kind of rough. Oh. Well, this is new. Hades! Hades! Hades nuts. We found 2 Hades. It's being too kind to us here. Ahead of a boss fight. You numbing on me, Gators? Get chilled. And another Hades and a Hermes. Never have I ever heard of these items in a Final Fantasy game. Okay, so we've got a life, an echo note. Diet food cures pig. You can be turned into a pig. Hades is something you equip. And Hermes. Really? That looked like... Okay, it's like an armor set. What else did we see? We saw like gauntlets? Yeah. Okay. It's a new armor set. I dig it. So who wears Hermes? If that's the case, who gets to wear Hermes? Do you? Who is fanciful feet get to wear the Hermes, or was that even an equipable? Doesn't look like anything right now. I would wager it's something speed related, but Cure you. Alright. Our MP is 48. Let's use an ether, which I only have 1. Okay, I'm saving the ether. I may have to use it in a fight. Are we getting towards our first boss fight? I think we are. After more zombies, after more disruption from zombies. Zombie, please excuse us. We have shit need doing. And then there was one. Cooked. Yeah, the magic potency definitely increases when you're not spreading it between enemies. Rydia learned Toad! We can turn other things into Toad. Cute. Oh, there's a monster. I think we're going towards the tentacles. Tentacles. Before we do that, I'm going to take a peek at the guide and see if it gives me any favorable suggestions for doing this right the first time. Okay, we got the ice rod, we got money, we got a bomb fragment, we sure did. Oh, I missed a false wall? If you probe the left wall near the door, you'll find a false wall. Go forward around the door to an area on the right. We will re-emerge on a platform. Go south to find a feathered hat, which is equipped on Tella. Well, we didn't do that. That's what I get for skipping the guide. Once to the door, find the next area, go forward, collect an ether and an arctic wind. Didn't do that either. We did get the hourglass. I missed a shadow blade? Maybe I did collect that, let's see. Shadow blade, I don't see that, I don't remember that either. Go right to the treasure chest down there where an hourglass can be found, as well as shadow blade. How did I miss the other one? They were right by each other. Well, that's back in the other cave too, so I think we're kind of stuck here for the moment. We got the glove, we got the helm. The glove and the helm, we've equipped them, so good. So there would have been a helm, a glove, shoes, and armor. Okay. Weaknesses are lightning and darkness, and then resists basically everything else. 2,350 HP on this one. Handle the situation with your 3 characters. My mouse is being real fucking weird. Yeah. Every time I click on text to highlight it, it drags to the top of the screen. That is really counterintuitive to my reading style here. Handle the situation with 3 characters like this. Cecil does a pretty decent amount of damage simply by attacking, so have him attack normally. Iridia should do more damage by summoning Chocobo, which we haven't done yet. Tella can either heal the party as needed or attack with thunder spells. You'll know the enemy is taking damage because his 8 tentacles dwindled down to 1. And when he's down to 1, he's near death. So he starts with 7, 6, 5, down. Okay. I think we can do this. There's supposed to be other chests around here that we can nab to. Hi, frogs. It was ice for them, yeah. Don't turn anybody into a toad again, because I don't think I have that many more Maiden's Kisses. Never mind. Never fucking mind. Maybe it'll give us one. Please give us one. It didn't give us one. Ah. Okay, we have 4 of those. Okay. This is rendered pretty useless without... B2. We got those. You get attacked. black. Let's do ice. Ooh, ice doesn't do really shit for those water bugs. How much health do you have, water bug? Oh, you can just leave? Start some shit and just leave? That's how it works. Yeah, where did I miss other goodies? Like, really? Ambushed! I don't want to get no damn ambushed! I don't think I have, the resources to survive too many ambushes here, you see. It's gonna run away. These things are strong. Curiously strong. Alright, I went back for items that I probably don't need. Out of some weird completionist tick. I just wanna fight. What did they like? Not dark. Let's not do that. It was fire for them, I think. And definitely not physical attack. Damn it! She runs out of ether so fast. Or MP. Here. Wait, did I used the ether on the wrong character? Fuck! That's gonna make things fun coming up. Oh, nutsack. Okay, fine. Where is your fire attack? Oh, it's only on the other guy. You know what I haven't done? I haven't tried to run from a fight yet. Potions are great. I need magic. I no longer like it here, and I want to go home. Oh hey, why are these out of order? That was separate from the other ones we collected. Weird. Okay. We're not as screwed as I thought. Oh, you again. Hi. Tella needs to be healed. Got it. Tella, Ella. They didn't like that very much. Alright, before we scoot up to the fight... What do I want to give everybody? I don't really have a lot to work with here. Cures many ailments! Good, we have one revive if we need... See, why is this life separate from that? Can we not just combine? Eye drops are separate. Consolidate. Can we not just consolidate our items? Well, then. We have to make this work.
There he is.
All right, let's take a peek at what the weaknesses were again. Lightning and darkness. What darkness do I have? I don't think we've got any darkness magic. Darkness magic? In this economy?
Watch out.
You're gonna get tickled 10 times! Oh, they're gleefully about this life. Look at them. Sure, pick one. Alright, we decided Bolt was the way to go. And... got one down.
Pat pat.
Pat pat. Cure 2, huh? Yeah, use it on yourself. Okay. Not getting too skittish yet. It's surprising me though, I was expecting like one big attack. I guess the problem is it just constantly attacks. I mean, I was expecting like a status ailment situation here.
Excellent. He's weakening. I'm wearing one of his tentacles as a necklace right now. Check it out. I'm chic as hell. Tell me I'm not. I'm stunting on these hoes.
He won't be in the party for long. We know he's weird. Just let him have it. Iridia's down to like her last 2 rounds of magic here. Running out of MP. Is that gonna finish it? It's our last one. Pat pat. Pat pat. That's a bad octopi. Pat pat.
Come now. Damn seeing is beyond this waterfall.
And everybody came. Let's use a tent. And save it. This feels like a good stopping point. Ahead of some extra goodies happening. We'll have more story to absorb when we bring this back around tomorrow. And I will. Maybe tomorrow we'll get a sip test of Bujingai as well. I wanted to do that tonight, but I am running out of mental stamina. It is 11:36 in the PM. After a Monday in the life, I think we've accomplished enough. We've done enough. Yeah. I'll say night-night to Tella, Cecil, and Rydia. Our new fave, our new bestie. Lil Frit Who. Lil Frit Who, exactly. Let's see where we need to get into fitting where we want to be on yonder twitch.tv. Who's gonna keep us company? There are, of course, always a lot of wild and wonderful peers in the retro community and otherwise out there. Who I want to take us to go see? Take a peek on a few people here. Okay, I like it, I like it, I like it. I can dig it. Ooh, somebody's already playing the new Doom. You know what? I'm gonna wait until Zombie plays Doom to get my fix. What do you think of winding things down with a weird movie with a cool community? Because I think that's what we're gonna go do. Let's go say hi to Jessica, who is doing a little movie Monday. How's she streaming movies on twitch.tv? Just wait and see. Wait and see. Here's where we're headed if Twitch gets funky, and sometimes it does. That's where we're headed. Or if you can't stick around for that reason, for that matter, rather. That's where we're gonna be. Yeah, I'm running out of, let's put here, noticeably, I'm tired as fuck. Let's rate, let's go say hi. Jessica, Jessica's bell. And I'm gonna thank y'all for keeping me company and loving on each other throughout. There are your raid copy pastas. Use whatever emotes you have in your inventory. Ain't gotta be mine, ain't gonna scratch my paint if you don't use mine. Rest your heads. Prioritize what you need if sleep is what you need the most. But if you can't stick around for the raid, I reckon you like what you're gonna see. Jessica's funny as all get out and has a swell community. So go say hi. Maybe drop a follow if you're unfamiliar. I will be back tomorrow. If you'd like a key to the front door of the Discord, know what we're up to in the interim. There's a place to find me. Get at me. And upcoming Thursday we're watching a redemption from Sister Sultry, who has redeemed Hot Shots. And if we're feeling extra zesty, then we'll watch Hot Shots Part 2 afterwards. Tell, thanks for sticking around too. And your company is always welcome. Very happy to have you around. Let's go say hi to Jessica. It was good to see Fiona tonight, and Daz, and X, and everybody. Zombie's got a big stream coming up on Wednesday. Don't miss that. Heather, wonderful to have you too. Take care of your body meats, especially your booty meats. If you're extra privileged, you can take care of somebody else's booty meat. I will see you mañana. We gonna sashay on out as soon as we can get to scooting our boots, mamas, but not before I tell you one last thing. It's my first stream, so I can't forget to tell you this. Really important thing. The thing that you need to access to shine a light in the dark. A curative property when things feel a little rough. Something to put a little extra wind in your sail when you need it. You know what this salve can be. You need to know. Kisses, hugs, and belly rubs.
Red and green. If you are not lighting your horror film with red and green, you're doing something wrong.